Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa Solis from Grand Canyon University, and today I will be discussing the IEP process. First, let's discuss what an IEP is and its components. An IEP is an individualized education program whose purpose is a layout of special education instruction, modifications, accommodations, supports, and services so students with disabilities have equitable opportunities to thrive and succeed in school. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act created these programs for eligible students for free. An IEP is required to have a statement of the student's current academic success and functional performance, a statement of their annual academic and functional goals, a description of the student's progress towards achieving their annual goals, a description of the supplementary aids, services, and special education that is provided, a description of the program modifications, accommodations, and school personnel supports, a statement describing the extent to how the student will not participate with students without disabilities, a date for when the services begin, and the setting, duration, and recurrence of them. For students who are getting ready to leave high school, their IEP must also include transition services that help prepare students for life after grade school. Regarding parent and student involvement, parents are required to attend IEP meetings so they can share information about their students' weaknesses, strengths, and the characteristics that make them unique. Parents should also ask questions, suggest possible aids to help their student, and advocate for their student. Students are not required to attend the IEP meetings unless transition planning will be discussed. Otherwise, it is up to the parents and students to decide their level of participation. However, having students participate is beneficial because it encourages self-advocacy skills and can increase the efficiency of discovering the right services and aids to be successful in their program. To be evaluated for special education services, parents can request an evaluation or teachers can refer a student for an evaluation. If a student begins to show behavior or learning difficulties, teachers will try to make changes to the learning environment or instruction to combat these difficulties, which is called the pre-referral process. However, if those interventions don't help, then the teacher will submit a referral for an evaluation meeting. After an evaluation is requested or referred, an evaluation meeting will take place, made up of teachers involved with the student, parents of the student, special education teachers, and school administration. They will first discuss why an evaluation was deemed necessary, and then discuss the next steps, like appropriate testing. These tests might be psychoeducational, interviews, classroom observations, functional behavior assessments, psychological evaluations, or other specialized evaluations like speech language or physical therapy. Parents then have to give written consent to the tests and may ask any questions they have. The testing would then take place unless the school does not have the proper staff. Then the student might have to have outside testing done, but the evaluation process must be completed within 60 days of the initial request or referral. A written report will be made that includes the reasons for said evaluation and the specific evaluators discussing their opinions. The evaluation team will then meet with the IEP team to discuss the testing results and their recommendations, which is called an eligibility meeting, where parents will find out if their student will receive special education services or not. The next important thing to understand is that there are eligibility requirements for a student to receive special education services. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act covers 13 disability categories, which are autism, deafblindness, deafness, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, other health impairment, specific learning disability, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury, and visual impairment. However, even though a student might have one of those disabilities, they will only be eligible if their disability is so severe that they need education services. Communication between the school and parents is very important to keep efficiently supporting students, student development, and achievement. Having a level of open communication between parents and teachers allows for a student's best advocate, their parents, to help their teachers and the IEP team to find the right services, modifications, and accommodations that benefit the student. Educators want and expect parents to advocate for their child by monitoring their progress at home, seeing how the special education program affects them, and relaying that information and their opinions to educators. At the same time, the school and teachers will be in contact with parents because parents have the legal right to prior written notice, which means if the school wants to make any changes to a student's IEP, the school has to inform them of the reasoning for said changes, a list of all options considered and why they were rejected, and the test or records used to make these decisions. Lastly, educators have an ethical responsibility to uphold the integrity of the profession as part of the IEP process by acting and exercising professionalism and professional judgment, being inclusive, fostering efficient collaboration with their colleagues, developing relationships with parents based on respect and active involvement, not engaging or tolerating possibly harmful practices, advocating for resources that improve and benefit student success, and understanding that working as an educator means committing to lifelong learning. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me.